Hello everybody, welcome back. Just a real quick video on something called Uno, right? So this, on the stream last night, I spoke about how Kucoin charts and some of these small cap coins, you know, they're essentially our shit coins. You know, they are gambles, and what we could entertain the idea of putting money into some of these things, we should call it screw it money, right? Money that we shouldn't expect to receive anything back, and if we lose out, it's no big deal. We expected nothing from it. However, the risk to reward could end up being pretty aggressive, but it should be only used for something called screw it money, right? So this is one of my new screw it money investments, and again, you know, I am not expecting the world from it. If anything, the best thing to do is to expect nothing from it at all. It trades pretty low. It's been lower than this in the past. It's had a fair pump the last few days, actually, a decent reaction from this area down here, and so actually the volume has gone up way more than it has. It's like 3-4 times more than it was back down here. It's pretty low, and that said, you know, it because the volume is low and the market cap is actually pretty low as well. It does potentially, you know, on a trading standpoint, offer large returns if it were to work out. And again, it has to gain traction, it has to gain volume, and if it works out, then it will work out very well. But again, don't expect an enormous amount back from it. Expect nothing back, and then you can only be pleasantly surprised. So at the moment, yeah, we're pushed up towards the top of the Bollinger Band, where I would expect to see a bit of a pullback, and I would like to see a retest of the 200 exponential, whether it be now or after we get the golden crosses. But if we think about the way that this chart is forming, on the 4-hourly chart, it's already got a conversion baseline cross above the cloud, so all of that's looking quite good for continuation. But as we're brewing this cross over the next probably few days, provided we're above 23.5 cents or thereabouts, we should get a deeper retest to perhaps maybe pick some of this up. Whether you pick it up at these levels, or these levels, so we're talking about the 20, the 21, the 200, or the, you know, any opportunity really to pick it up, depending on how cautious of a trader. And again, it is screw it money, so it's worth being, I suppose, you know, just throwing caution to the wind. Don't mean investing at this after it's pumped, you know, considerably over the last few days. Over the last week, it's 65% up, 77 from the top to the top. That would be. So we are looking for hopefully a better entry point on this one. And again, you know, price isn't really where I would determine the entry point. So it would be more along the moving averages, but the lower 20s, lower 20-cent zone would probably be more appropriate. And obviously, you know, if we come back down all the way down to this bottom here around 16 cent, then that's so be it. It's a relatively strong support, and we had supports here and resistances here, and then a final breakout, come down to retest it, and it's more or less its inception price. It came on the market about just short of 15 cents. So people front running it, I would imagine, with this previous level of support resistance being relatively strong for a small chart. Remember, this is a small chart. Remember what I always say about small charts? Just be careful with them. So I mean, just for transparency, I have already picked some of this up, but as it is screw it money, and I've got a couple of quid laying around, I will top up on this one now that the volume's trickling in. But I won't be buying at this level. I'll only buy if it comes back down to a lower level, and see where it goes from there. And again, you know, this was an enormous mover back here. This is June, just before well, actually, it was after the dump, wasn't it? The massive dump took place after then. So interesting chart, I have to say, but one hell of a shitcoin. We have to respect all shitcoins, and this is a shitcoin, which is why I have to highlight that this is screw it money. But you know, that's what Kucoin's all about, I suppose. It should be, most of these things should be looked at for screw it money. This is where coins can really start to pick up traction before they break away from their previous shitcoin label, and they could go into something else. It's almost like the test, isn't it? It's like the test. Are you something good, or are you something bad? You know, how are you going to perform? And this is your first true trial run on an exchange with relatively decent volume. You know, it's one of the better ones. You know, outside of the top ones. You know, so we'll see how it goes. And like I say, don't expect anything back from it. Don't put your life savings in it. Don't harvest any kidneys or sell your children for it. It is only for screw it money. But screw it money can work out pretty well. And like I say, if we were to move all the way up to its through its top, even from this area here. It's a 300% move. That's not really what we're looking for. We are looking for much bigger moves than that. For, you know, if we're using screw it money, otherwise we'd just put money in Doji, you know, the ultimate screw it money investment, or SHIB, for instance. You know, pure screw it money. But yeah, if we want to try and get even cleverer, you buy things that are basically very, very low volume, very low market cap, and if they do gain traction, they do work out. But again, this involves next to zero technical analysis. We're only really looking for an entry point using the very few technicals that we got available to ourselves. Again, it's a young chart. Anything could happen, to be honest. Anything could happen. But if you wanted to pick it up, I would definitely wait for a lower price. And I think we'll get one with what the market looks like. Bitcoin definitely looks like it wants to pull back, and this would probably pull back quite dramatically, given the fact that it's a very low liquid token. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. Like I say, just one to watch, and take it easy.